We should all care about the Higgs art spaces, especially the artist-run initiatives.
Should be curious about art.
Allow a free space to have ideas develop and have ideas be tried out without a need to work within a specific framework.
That changes the cultural fabric of that place.
It's up to everyone if you care or not care.
Music is universal. It's because there's so many different nationalities that come into The Hague. Sometimes it's the only way you can communicate with someone.
I think if we all would care, it would be a very incredibly nice working climate. One that is on the center of community and care.
Outside, people who work as artists themselves, there are not many people knowing or visiting art spaces.
Performing music live and watching music live are both in the same instance a communal experience that, when replicated in one city or town, really can define that town.
They're incredibly vivid, super interesting, very wonderful, very engaged, very cool place to be in touch with but also to collaborate with.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, what's up?
I'm good. How's it going with you?
Good. I actually have a question.
Tell me.
So, I was wondering if you know any art spaces in The Hague.
Ooh, that's a good one. There is a festival thing like Hoogtij, and through that I got to know a few. So you can check out Billy Town.
Let's go and check out some of those places.
You want to stay outside?
No, definitely no.
This is now a sort of void space.
Yeah.
This is a project space, which means this is an art space, but not all the time, because this is also the place where we live. So what we do is we invite 4 or 5 times a year. We invite an artist to do a project here. Which means basically that we offer them the space that we have, which is this space, which is an old shop, but behind this door you also enter our living space, or something like that, because it changes all the time. We came in this space about 3.5 years ago, and we started rebuilding the space because it was an old shop. We started inviting artists. So at first they came into a very rough space, and they could work with that. But now that we live here longer, the space gradually improves. So that also makes the relationship with the artist a bit different. Because it's also more of a living space. But we offer them all the space that we have, including our bedrooms or whatever.
So my name is Ragas Mohammadi. I graduated, never know where to begin, but I was doing this double degree program myself. So I was studying at the University of Utrecht. Contemporary art history and doing the art academy, where I graduated a year ago. Yeah, time goes very fast. And currently we're in our studio Locatie Z. And Locatie Z each year has this, I'm not sure how it's going to be with the coming years because of the pandemic and so on, but each year they have this they call it studio residency for recent graduates from fine arts departments. Yeah, I make art. I have a background in, as you can see, this is just a door, but this is a work that I'm working on at the moment with loam. And loam is a combination material of sand, clay, and hay, so it's basically used for construction in many different regions and cultures, I would say, also in the Netherlands, but are very specific in its cultural use. And I also used to organize a lot of things before I focus more on art making. Focus on making art. A very long introduction to say what my background has been.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. So this place is Passion Farm. We exist since 2018. We are dedicated to publishing as an artistic practice, meaning that we are interested in what kind of publication artists make. So every kind of form of printed matter is explored. That's make it very rich also as a field. And that's mostly why we invite people, is for them to explain what's the relation between, let's say, a performer or an installation artist and the printed material he or she makes. We have a look to everything, so we actually scout when we can art book fairs, be it in Europe or in the United States, or we went to Japan to bring back books. We work with distributors that have also offered a selection of publishers. Work with publishers directly and also artists who have a walk-in policy. People can bring their books they made, and then we make a selection out of them, if the space being what it is. So, and also us, we are also hybrid in that sense. We both an art space, but we also have this commercial aspect, which we hope kind of create a balance. And so one leg helps the other, one activity support the others. So we are stichting, so we are a foundation. All the proceedings of the sales actually go to supporting the program. So we are able to invite more artists to pay them more fairly. It's very important for us during their presentation, and also to embrace bigger, more ambitious projects like an exhibition, for instance.
My name is Clara Ronsdorf, and I work here at Nest as a program coordinator, and I've been doing that now a little bit over 2 years. And well, what the program coordinator does is kind of broad. It's really about the programs that we make, also alongside the exhibitions we make, to give them both in content as in production form. So it's about organizing artist talks, workshops, meetings, reading groups. It's really about that position between public and your exhibition. And that's what I do here mostly. I think collaborations are super important. At least we're really convinced about it. That only can add up to that, and to add those different angles, perspectives, institutions that all bring that with them. And it's really nice to hear that artists are excited about it, to come here. And I think we're kind of an open place, and as soon when the openings can happen, it's always a full big crowd here, and really nice to have that interaction, and to really to make it also a little bit more alive here, instead of only presenting the work but meeting place. And we have to try every time to find forms to do that, to really connect with the scene.
Run a little gallery, just like you just saw, and I work as a graphic designer.
I'm French. I'm trained as engineer, but I also have a degree in fine art from Amsterdam, from Gerrit, and I live in The Hague for more than 10 years, I think. Yeah. I created this place because I was missing discovering artist books. There are places in Amsterdam, in Rotterdam, in Berlin, New York, where you can easily get lost and spend a few hours looking at books, and there was no such place in The Hague.
I've been an artist, I'm a writer, I write about art as well, I'm an editor also, I'm a curator, I'm everything that you want me to be. And that I want to be. We have to agree on it, about what I am. I'm not going to do anything I don't like. But I like a lot of things, so I think I also am different every month. I've done many different things in my life, so I could, if somebody would ask me, what do you do for work? Then every time I say a different thing, you know. So right now I'm a student Russian language. I'm trying to learn Russian. As you can see, I'm here with my keyboard in Cyrillic because I'm doing exercises every day. So I'm a student now. I do a course, online course, Russian, because I have time, because there's the coronavirus and quarantine. I thought I have to do something new. So I wanted to learn Russian, so that's what I busy myself with.
It's just the best thing ever for me. Yeah.
You have to talk to every artist, and then you have to.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of work. I never thought of this when I started. I was like, haha, that's funny. I'm gonna do it. And then I got like 63 people to communicate with and to be like, woohoo. So in the future, there will, I guess I need to get subsidy for it. I guess, to be able to work with it more, and I would really like to. I'm not really sure what shape it will get. Like maybe it. Yeah. I don't think it will be in. Yeah, I would enjoy it to just be this little world on its own behind the window. That's, well, like I said, it's like, yeah, it's a little world on its own. Not make it really tiny, and then we can still create a massive group show with all of us together. But it's really small.
It's a place that was missing. It's the experience, the physical experience that was missing of browsing books, discovering things, and losing notion of times. You know, when you can be in a place and sit and look at things, and you actually realize, oh, it's 5. I'm here for 3 hours now. You know? And that's something that I couldn't find before. So it also we started small, and it was just a tryout. And since it worked out, we kind of expanded. So we started in a place that was 20 square meters. And then we, after 6 months, we realized, 8 months, we realized that it could, you know, we had events and it was completely packed. 20 square meters, it's very easy. So then we moved here and then we expanded some more. On the way, you cannot do it alone. On the way, we received a lot of help from professional people from the art community.
We decide with the two of us. So Mariana, my girlfriend, and I, it's our project. So we do it with the two of us. That means that we both agree on who we invite. But I have a long history in art, so I know a lot of artists, and I have, of course, a lot of artists in my head. And Mariana is, well, she looks at art for all of her life, but she's not from the arts, so she has a different point of view. I propose something, or we go and watch exhibitions or whatever we see, and sometimes we think, this might be an interesting artist for us. So then we talk about it, we agree about it, and then we invite an artist. And in the beginning, of course, I had a sort of a list in my mind of, wow, this could be interesting for this or that artist. So first we also
maybe works a little bit with this list, but we also try to be open for new experiences because we don't want to be part of some kind of fixed network. We also want to see something new and interesting that we don't know yet. See people coming back because they're curious, what is it now? And yes, and then they find, oh, there's also a cellar, or oh, there's also a backspace. They didn't see it before, of course, because they were only here. So yeah, it's also for the audience, it's a way to explore what is it ism. We don't really know. We've seen something there, but is that the usual thing, or is it not? Or yeah, it's different every time, the experience. And I think that makes it also interesting for an audience to come back and to see what it's about this time.
I just wonder in Amsterdam, I feel like because it's such a big city and so busy, and I think maybe the smaller art spaces are a bit more unlikely to just run into by surprise and be like, oh wow. Whereas here in The Hague, I feel like it's still, yeah, the small art spaces are actually a bit bigger because there's more space for them to exist. So there's more likelihood of walking into 1646 and be like, hey, this is an art space, that's interesting. But in Amsterdam, maybe you're overwhelmed by all the other big shops that you just walk on.
They change a lot, so it's a very interesting city, I think. Also because there's a lot of support from the town hall, from the funding bodies for initiatives. So there are a lot of art initiatives. There are a lot of people trying new ideas. There's space which is made available, the very good relay in terms of support of, yes, there's this space available there, you can try here, moving around. So it creates, I think, a context and art climate that is actually, the people from 1646 helped us a lot. They have a lot of experience. They are very much willing to give us a hand and explain. The people from Stroom Den Haag, also a wonderful funding scheme. It's relatively easy to present a new project, and they are trusting, I think. So that really helped at the beginning for sure. And then of course there's a lot of things, a lot of learning to be done, and that's I think all this environment helps you do it. Try, make mistakes, go on. And I think it's also the street. Actually, the street had a program where people are welcome for 2 years with a pretty low rent to try something. So you see the end of the street here. A lot of people have designing things, making things, and it was part of a scheme where they invite designers and artists to just be in the street basically for I think it's 2 years. Yeah. So they create very good conditions for something starting, something new, something that didn't exist. Yeah.
A lot of spaces, also a lot of spaces who don't exist anymore. The Hague has always been characterized by this bottom-up mentality of creating your own space, and so there have always been a lot of artist initiative, alternative spaces, pop-up spaces, which is quite unique. I also know a lot about other cities and art scenes there, and I'm always also when I travel abroad, when I come back, I'm always sort of amazed that we always have something new here. There's always a new space coming up.
Why I left is because the lack of art spaces in Utrecht. For example, you have Centraal Museum, you have a lot of bigger institutions, or Catharijnen Convent, or like there are some places, but not so much. And in the years after, there was a lot of things happening, especially with Academie Galerie, with Cas, Egeling were organizing a lot of things, Moira, EAA also hosted a lot of these. So there was a lot more blooming coming up in the years that I left. But in general, it was more the big spaces and not so much the smaller. For me, as you said, it is much more of a, how do you call it, natural habitat to be, like also all my friends go to different places, so like Instagram feed and Facebook and everything is like kind of algorithmic, I'm not sure if that's a word, but towards all of this, the openings of all of these spaces and all of these events. But of course, there's a lot that if you wouldn't, like, it takes a lot of time to get into that circle, into that, like it's a world on its own. So I was very curious also how it is for you guys to getting to know this world, because it's so, I can imagine it's quite closed off.
Like really country, like.
Hold on. I know this. Do this. Hold on.
It's from the horse racing, isn't it? Or